Hi there. This is another one of my Potter's Process videos, the kind of vlog that I'm doing to journal the process of planning a church in the Greensburg area. I wanted to start with a little bit of an update. It's nothing that's set in stone, but after doing the video that I did on looking for locations, I got a couple leads, and so I've been tracking those down. So we'll see what happens there. I would appreciate if you would be praying, of course, for that we find that, because that's the first big step to being able to move forward into worship services. What I mostly wanted to talk about was an aspect of the worship service. Another aspect, because I think I talked last time, that it's going to be family style. And so for today, I wanted to talk about the praise in the service, the music that we'll be doing. Probably going to be starting out in a pretty small space, is what I'm thinking. Especially because that was one of the pieces of advice that I got, and it definitely made a lot of sense. You don't want people to feel like the room's deserted, so do something that can kind of expand with us as we grow in the early stages. And so when you're doing that, and also considering, depending on the setup, we might not have any type of amplification, we're going to be looking to do acoustic music. And so that's what I really wanted to do today, is ask that if you know anybody who could do that, that you would put them in touch with me, or if that you are interested in doing that. Kind of figuring that a guitar is the easiest way to go. We do have potentially someone who's interested in being a drummer, and it's not like we're going to have a full kit. It probably would just be a single, literally one drum, in order to provide a beat. And then as far as, providing the music, a guitar is probably the best option, because it's probably the easiest thing to carry around. I guess a keyboard could be, but that might be more difficult. And so if you are maybe someone who would be interested in volunteering with the church that way and committing to it, or if you know somebody who would be, you can get in touch with me. I am not yet really reaching out for this, because I was thinking I might go around to some of the colleges, see if any of them have Christian clubs, if there might be somebody who would be interested in doing this. But again, I wanted to make sure that we have our space signed, sealed, delivered, basically, before we move on to that next step. But that would probably be what comes next. And so I figured it was at least no harm in putting it out here. I would also say a word about the style of praise that we're going to do, and by doing a mixed style, which you may be familiar with. That's with the contemporary Christian music and also with the older hymns. I know a lot of people have strong feelings on music in church, and that a lot of people are actually very, very attached to one or the other style and dislike one or the other style. But I do think that mixed is the best way to go, because I really believe that there's value in both. The contemporary music is certainly performance driven, and it's about listening to the people who are in the front, performing to those who are watching them. But that's not necessarily a judgment. Sometimes that can be a very good thing, because it's a chance for reflection, rather than necessarily focusing on making sure you're hitting the notes or whatever. And so listening can be very good. But the hymns provide the opposite. They are simpler, and that's part of the reason I think why they're sometimes considered boring, is because there's not as much performance behind them from the front, but they're corporate. Because they're simple, generally everyone can sing them, and when you're singing them together and people are really in the right spirit for it, they can be incredibly powerful as the church is doing it together. And so I think we want both of those things to be present, and that's why we're going to have both styles of music. So again, if that is of interest to you, or if you know anyone who would be interested in it, please get in touch, send them this video, give them my contact information, whatever you need to do. And what else was I going to say? I guess that's kind of the close there. And so just please, again, be praying for the Potter's Church, for this process as we move forward, that it will be successful and that it will make an impact for the gospel in this area. Thank you very much for following along. And until next time, keep looking up.